Hey guys, Andrew Shroud here in the sideboard. I'm here with Anson Quach. How's it going?
Hi, doing good.
And you have shown up with Mardu Warriors for this tournament.
Yeah.
A bit of a spicy number. So tell me a little about how you arrived at this deck and just why you decided to play it.
So in the beginning, I'm actually an aggressive player. So I like playing aggro. I hate playing mid-range and control. Or combo. For that fact. And it's just part of my nature. So I always try to conceive of a very good aggro deck every standard format.
Okay. This format is definitely very mid-range heavy.
Yeah, I know.
So you kind of found the one aggressive option that was available.
Yes.
All right, so the core of this deck, I guess the aggressive core, you have the 8 1-drops, 4 Tormented Hero and 4 Bloodsoaked Champion, and then all 8 of the Chiefs.
Yes.
So it's 4 Chief of the Edge, 4 Chief of the Scale.
Yes.
Talk to me a little about that kind of creature package.
So obviously you just want to curve out. It's a curve out dot deck.
Okay.
Turn 1 play. And turn 2 is actually where it's really important, where you decide to play a Chief or Edge.
Okay.
Or Chief of Scales. If you're on offense and you're not expecting a Drown in Sorrow main deck.
Okay.
You go just Chief of Scale or Chief of Edge. And then you kind of punish your opponents from there. The reason Chief of Scale is in the deck is because I noticed there's a lot of Absent and like Drown in Sorrow is in a lot of sideboards.
Okay.
And I don't want to lose to that card. So that's like the problem with other aggro decks. They just kind of wash up to Drown in Sorrows.
Sure.
With Chief of Scale, I kind of like, yeah, you may get 1-for-1 your opponent.
Okay.
That's it.
Yeah.
So.
And as we'll see later, you've actually got a lot of spells that actually protect you from Drown in Sorrow as well.
Yes.
So Chief of the Scale kind of protects you from the sweepers. Chief of the Edge lets you punch through Sylvan Caryatids.
Yep.
So
other trades, make profitable trades. Pretty much that's it.
All right. And then 4 Goblin Rabblemaster. It's a sweet card.
It's a warrior too.
Yeah. So that rounds out your creature suite. And then when you get to the spells, basically every non-creature spell on here is kind of its own talking point, it seems like. But we'll start with, I think, kind of the centerpiece, 4 Mardu Ascendancy.
Yeah, so because it's a curve out dot deck, going turn 1 creature, turn 2 creature, and slamming down Mardu Ascendancy on turn 3, even with a Chief of Scale, you're swinging for 6 on turn 3.
Sure.
And it just builds from there. At that point, you don't have to commit on the board anymore.
Okay.
And it protects you from anger, and it protects you from Drown in Sorrows.
All right.
And it does favorable trades.
Okay.
So that's the main reason why I have Mardu Ascendancy in my deck.
Gotcha. All right.
Yeah.
And then you actually have another kind of anthem effect in the form of 3 Obelisk of Erd.
Yeah. So if that's kind of tricky. It doesn't always play off correctly. But the ideal scenario is like turn 3. You just like pass, and then I have Mardu Charm in my main deck.
Okay.
So I usually go EOT, make 2 warriors.
All right.
And then follow up with a land drop and tap out to play Obelisk of Urge for my turn 1 and 2 plays.
Okay.
So I swing out for 8 on turn 4.
Sure.
And then the following up turn is usually lethal.
Yeah, that seems like a reasonable curve. Of course, all of your actual creature cards are warriors, and Mardu Charm also makes warriors.
Yes.
And then the Rabblemaster and the Mardu Ascendancy, those make goblins.
Yes, they interact pretty well actually together. So.
All right. And then we talked about how you wanted to beat Drown in Sorrow.
Yep.
You have Chief of the Scale, you have Obelisk of Erd, you have Mardu Ascendancy, but you weren't done yet. One last 4 of that kind of raised my eyebrows a little. 4 Ajani's Presence. So why is this the combat trick of choice?
So because I have that little bit toughness on the butt, and sometimes that power too.
Sure.
I can punch through Caryatids, or not Coursers, and Anafanzas, just like anything, and kind of like blow them out. Or when they go to like try to kill a chieftain with Hero's Downfall.
All right.
Just like pro, like indestructible. It's usually a blowout factor a lot of times.
So it's kind of like the good half of a God's Willing, and it lets you trade up as well.
Yes.
Okay.
And it has Strive, so late into the game, I can protect a lot of my dudes.
Talk to me a little about what you're hoping to play against when you're playing a deck like this.
I like to play against blue back. Token seems actually pretty fine for me.
Okay.
Blue Eye Heroic, because I'm usually faster than them.
Okay.
And pretty much like those 3 decks are fine. Sidisi and Absence is like 50-50.
Okay.
Depends if they get the turn 2 Caryatid into turn 3 Rhino start.
Gotcha.
Which is always hard to beat for any deck.
So
but
the mid-rangey nut start can be troublesome.
Yeah, for any deck. But
what do you think is the bad matchup here? What are you hoping to avoid playing against?
Actually, mono red.
Okay. All right.
Just mono red.
This is the deck that can get under you, I suppose?
Yeah, and they don't pain themselves, so.
All right, cool. So off to, an X and 2 start?
I'm X2 right now, yes. Right. So I got 2 more rounds.
Sure, within sniffing distance of that day 2.
Yes, that'll be interesting.
Thanks for sitting down with me, Anson.
All right, thank you.
Stick around. We've got plenty more coverage coming of the Standard Open here in Columbus.